I'm going to go through a kind of brief history of loop returns and then kind of share my experience starting the company and cover a couple of early mistakes we made, lessons we learned. So to start out, I'm one of the co-founders at Loop Returns. We are a Shopify store, app store app and service that helps companies on Shopify manage and automate their returns. We get to work with just a bunch of cool brands. We're wearing some of their products. We have been out and available for going on about 2 years now. We started just about 2 years ago as part of a local agency, Rocket Code, that Mountie worked at. A couple other people here know us from those times. We had a merchant reach out, one of the brands they worked with, and they had a problem with returns. They kind of asked Rocket Code to solve that problem for them. You know, at that time, I was on an apps team trying to get an entire department building apps all the time that were available, and we could have a recurring revenue stream through all these various solutions to problems. During that time, the first product came out. Chubby started using it. It was great. We got a few phone calls from other stores on Shopify. Hey, we saw this returns experience. We heard you guys did it and worked on it. We would love it if we could have the same thing. Same time, I'm still pumping out apps. Our process was to kind of brainstorm a problem and then solve the problem. So we didn't get any traction on most of our apps because we were inventing problems and then solving them. We had a handful of uninstall comments that said things like, I don't get this, I don't understand the point of this, why would anyone use this? They're very empowering quotes. So with these requests coming in for that returns product, we kind of looked at that apps experience, realized it really wasn't going anywhere, but this thing might be something. So I hopped over there. I helped maintain the first version, and then we decided to kind of spin that off, separate it out from the company, and focus on selling it full time. Because when 2, 3, 4 people reach out and are interested, when previously all your other ideas you had 0 people, 1 person, 2 people that hated it, abandon those things. It was actually a really, really good opportunity for me to kind of see the sunk cost fallacy in action. Some of the apps I made at that time I super duper loved and really, really wanted to keep them going. I was really proud of clever things I did, but nobody wanted them. So to continue investing time in this idea, it would have been a waste of money. And then here was this other idea that people wanted. So we picked it up, we followed it, and here we are now. We have 160 plus Shopify merchants. We have 15 people working there now. So that was that kind of noticing that product market fit, noticing what people actually really wanted, the problem someone really had, and solving it, and then continuing to solve it for them and continuing to offer them value. The animations didn't work, but these are a couple of things I'm going to go through, things that we experienced early on. So kind of the way I look at mistakes are any mistake you walk away from is a chance for you to learn something. If you come out the other side, there's a lesson there. So, early on when we first started, we had these couple companies that wanted us to stand up this product for them. We thought, great. For $10,000, we're going to go ahead and give you your custom returns website. And we'd take input, we'd add custom content, we would sometimes add a couple custom features, and then you've got your product. It was a one-time charge. We did another one, and then we started to realize there's maintenance costs. You have to keep the servers running. You have to keep the lights on. It was a terrible pricing strategy. Initially when we thought of it seemed like a lot. We're like, this is great. We'll just keep getting these one-off, like pay out the door, pay out the door, pay out the door. And it didn't work. We ran out of money for a period of time because the cost of running more and more equipment for a fixed fee that never recurs, and you have to fix any bugs and support, it doesn't go anywhere. So we kind of rethought our strategy at that point. We looked at the maintenance costs. We kind of finally did some introspection. I, prior to this company, had spent some time working on phone apps. We had seen pricing models for phone apps change, where instead of a one-time buy, it's a monthly fee. That the one-time buy doesn't really scale. So we looked around, we rethought our pricing, we went to a monthly model. We're still on a monthly recurring model based on ongoing service. It allows us to keep our features fresh. It keeps the lights on. So we didn't stop long enough to kind of look at what other products were doing, how they were billing. We thought we understood it, we thought it looked good, and we thought we'd go with it. So we should have maybe spent a little bit more time before we ran out of cash, but again, we got through the other side. It was fine. I believe all the brands from that time are still with us and have actually moved off their custom builds. We've brought them into the main app. They're paying monthly. They're happy. They're actually much happier because they get faster fixes and new features. So one of the second almost immediate mistakes we ran into was, we knew we needed to incorporate, we needed to become our own company, we were going to stand up, we were going to be our own thing. So we sat down with the lawyers that we were working with to file some intellectual patents. And we were like, okay, we're ready, we're going to incorporate, set us up. And they patiently explained to us that they're not incorporation lawyers, this isn't what they do, they're not the experts, and we should really go talk to somebody else. We listened and we said, great, that's fine. Can you fill out the paperwork? Because we're ready to go now. They did. They warned us a few more times that it wasn't the best idea, but they went ahead, they filed all the LLC paperwork. Great, we're a company. We start going out to look for investment. Investors don't want to invest in an LLC. They're not the same as a C Corp. The kind of company we wanted to be at that time, looking for investment, LLC is the wrong type of company to incorporate as. So we reached out to some experts. We paid them to incorporate us as a C Corp. But before we paid them that, we paid them to de-incorporate us as an LLC, which is a pain. State and federal governments want a lot of information knowing that you're de-incorporating for real reasons and not some weird scam, so it's annoying. So we paid for that mistake. We didn't listen to the experts we hired. They were really, really clear. Don't have us do this. We were impatient, we didn't listen, finally got the right person. We still work with both companies. Now we let them do the things they each do, and nothing else. And if they tell us we're not experts at this, find someone else, we definitely listen this time around. So then the third kind of issue is kind of the personal struggle of starting a company and then scaling with that company. Once you start to change and bring in new people, you start to expand, you start to deal with challenges outside that core product or that core idea you had, you either have to hire somebody to do these things you don't know, or you yourself have to take them on. And if you take them on, it can kind of be a personal challenge at times. I came from a programming background. I spent almost 18 years writing software. At that time, I had kind of rewritten our application 2 or 3 times, and looking at everyone else we had in the company at the time, me providing a different service made sense because we had 2 other developers, and I could kind of stand back, work with them, but provide other services in the company. So making that decision to leave this thing that I knew provided value, I knew that writing code provided value, to let someone else take over, to run the thing I had built, to do something else in the company, it was personally challenging. You know, I really, really cared about that thing, and I had to step back and let someone else do it and write a first version of an HR manual, which I've never done and I don't know anything about. And I didn't feel like I was doing it well, but it needed done. Spending time interviewing, again, not a skill of mine, it needed done. So at a certain point, making that choice to either keep doing the thing that got you to where you are, or doing something different, doing the next thing, being uncomfortable and going to where you need to go, which may be far stranger than you think. It may not be anything like you've ever done. I had never in my career thought I'd be writing an HR handbook or time off policies, but it happened. And now we have someone that does that full time, and it's great because he does it and he's terrific at it because he can focus on it. You know, when I was spending 5% of my week on it, even if I could become great at it, I was not great at it. So letting people do what they do is also really, really great. So those are kind of 3 things I learned in this journey to where we've gone. So to wrap things up, just a couple things I'd kind of like to leave everybody with and mention. You know, none of our mistakes really, really hurt long term, and most mistakes don't. If you're worried you're going to make the wrong choice for your company and you're just hesitating to make it, it's probably not going to destroy you. It's probably just, at worst, a mistake. In particular, if you know people like your product or have interest in it, you'll make it through. If you're waiting for the right time to make a change in your company or start a company, there isn't a right time. I never expected to work at a startup. I never expected to start a company. I was super duper happy writing code for other people and a steady paycheck and not running out of money. That was nice. Insurance was great, and we're now there again, and that's great too. But it's fun, it's exciting, and the perfect moment's never going to come. I just want to say again, ask for help. Listen to experts. If someone's willing to give you advice, take it and listen to it. You don't know everything. Nobody knows everything. And if someone's seen it before, doesn't mean you have to do what they say, but definitely think it through. And then kind of the last thing that's just really, really important, I didn't cite any specific examples in my story, but know why you do what you do. Your mission, why you do online returns, why you're selling what you sell, why you would choose to write code or whatever you're doing. Know the reason and really, really, really mean it. That helps every day. That helps on the weird days, the hard days, the days you have to explain to the team that they're not going to be getting paid on Friday and they're not going to get paid next week. That mission helps you at those times, and it helps everyone else. Actually, The devs we didn't pay stuck with us for the almost month that we weren't able to make payroll, and then we were able to. They're still with us because we had that vision and that mission that we were all doing something together. So, yeah, that's all I have. And I hear tell we're doing questions at the end, so I'll hand off the mic.